Top morning, laddies. My name is Jess, and welcome to the What If Deku Was the Godzilla? Not the, what if Deku was Godzilla's reincarnation? No, no, no. But this is the different version from My Hero Academia one. So, yeah. So then, in this version, Zuko was a human that had the ability that no one known about, transforms into a Godzilla one, and this is my version of it. So, yeah. So, and I'm also throwing in Zumi, like I always do, as, yeah. Let's begin with them. Let's begin with Inko. Who was working with this man, as he tells her that, and the other scientists, to experiment with kaiju DNA. As the kaiju that they were working on was this, I think, 2009, or no, 1998 version. So, yeah, you all probably are, and sit back and relax, boy. And so they're like trying to, like, the boss was like, okay, let's see, as one day, something like she or her, like, other scientists accidentally drop the Godzilla's blood, and it, like, landed right on her shoulder, and it ejected into her body. So basically, it didn't alter her DNA. And as, yeah, or not even entering into her bloodstream thing. So, yeah, as, so they've been working on this forever thing to try to find the antidote thing. As Sashi visits, and Inko and Sashi fell in love, and they got married, and they had 2 kids. One was Zumi, Let me show you Zumi. He doesn't have any kaiju blood in her. But her brother has a kaiju blood in him. So, after he was born, let's say he was born quirkless. Yes. Because, man, I was gonna, like, give him a quirk that's totally useless, but it would be like a combined power of the fire and ice, and it's almost is, but it's night and day thing. Or let's do that. So, yeah. So, they went to the quirk doctor, they did all that stuff. As, yeah, so, but Zumi, or not Zumi, Inko did not want Zuko. Sashi didn't want Zuko either because he's different from Zumi, because Zumi has fire manipulation. They wanted that. So, you know what they did? They threw him out. As he says, okay. As, yeah. But after, like, he left, and the 4 years, so basically he, between Zumi and Zuko, were 8 years old. But Zuko was, you notice that there was a change in his, so he transforms into Godzilla as he shoots beams of light from his mouth, as he was so, like, or he went back, or he went to the ocean, swam around, and slept on the bottom of the ocean. As Inko was like, okay. But Inko told Zumi, or teach her, like, ways of how to use fire manipulation, as her boss comes, and she said, or he says, well, hey, good job, and don't worry about that little project, Godzilla. I think one of the new kaiju just appeared. And as Inko says, wait, what do you mean? And as he says, well, just appeared out of nowhere in the ocean, or from the city near us, but the it went back or it went back to the or went to the waters, ocean. So yeah. So Zuko was so he was in the water for 7 days, or I think, or 7 years. Earth, because 8 times, or no, plus 7 and equals like 15, right? So yeah, as Zuko, he was no longer a human anymore, as this is my, or if you have seen the movie of or 1998 Godzilla films, you would know that, and the so yeah, he grabs all the fish and he made a little nest, and like, yeah, so he was no longer feeling like himself. He felt like a new hybrid. So he was brought out of water. As he walks around, and he immediately starts destroying stuff as the pro heroes try to save them. Like Bunny Girl was there, because you know it would be serious if Bunny Girl is there and All Might and Mountain Lady, because Zuko's monster form, or like his Godzilla form, is way taller than the entire everybody. Like, he's bigger than Mountain Lady's when she's transformed into a big version. So yeah, as Inko could not believe that they brought back the most dangerous Godzilla, or most dangerous kaiju in the entire world. So yeah, they evacuated, and so Zumi went to UA at 13, as she been with her classmates, Class 1A, as they were talking about the how this is all going through, if that makes sense. As yeah. So Zuko got the attacked by the military, basically by hers, and they tried to punch him, tried to kill him. As they went, he actually did that to them. As he keeps doing that. And he walks around. And so they decided to throw the nuclear bomb thing to lead it to, or after, to lead it open area. So they did, and the bomb dropped, and there goes Zuko. Bye-bye. Not really, because the day and night power or quirk that he has, as he can regenerate his body, or he could bring himself back from the dead thing too. So yeah. So the kids hatched, and they start going around the town thing, and they like were jumping on people and like having, or actually they had basically every food thing, as Zuko, as they see a group of people as they try to run, but Zuko, or as they were like, we'll stand and fight. As pro heroes like Snipe is trying to snipe them down, but they could predict the movement speeds. As these things move faster than my bullets. As Inko saw the green hair, her with green eyes, on the one of the monsters children's, as Inko knew who it was. Zuko. As the one of the monsters, or Godzilla's, or the Zuko's children's, gets up, looks at them, walks over, over to them as it instead of like biting on them, he spoke in the human language or human words. I am here. As it was more like, I am here. As Inko, actually, Zuku's children says, I am the son of, you know him as Zuku. The one that they dropped a bomb on him. The nuclear bomb. That was Zuku. As Inko couldn't believe that her own son is that newborn kaiju. As when All Might was like punched one, he heard that and about how the newborn's real name was a new kaiju that caused so much. As Zuku was as Inko asked one of the monsters' kids to take him to, as they went and they went to as they see Zuku's body, his monstrous body. As he decides to follow them to see what they are planning. As Zuku was regeneration, he can and self-revival, so he came back. As he looks at Inko, as he is in a daze, as his head was, or he literally, when he lifted his head up, and he turned and looked at them, Zumi was like freaking out, but Inko says, "I'm here, sweetie." As the words that came out of Zuku's monstrous mouth says, "Mom, is that you?" As Zuku was as Asashi and All Might couldn't believe that this creature that they tried to drop a bomb on was a Zuku. As one of the as he shows up, as he says, good work on experimenting with the Kaiju's DNA. See, to make an army of them. But your son is no longer used to. As Zuko lifts his head up, as he sees him with a rocket launcher, gonna blow that, or he was gonna blow that big lizard's head off with the gun, with a bazooka. As he covers the All Might and Zuko, he covers All Might, Inko, Asashi, and Zumi, and he turns his head, opens his mouth, and he breathes fire out. Yeah, he basically did that. And to him. So yeah, because the beam was so powerful, it's destroyed him, wiped him out of existence. And when he moved his hand, they saw the remains of him as his own, as he looks away, because as Inko knows that he's sad from the inside, and so she walks up to him and she tells him that it's not your fault. Zuko, after all, you are still gonna be part of this family no matter what. Our greedy hatred thing, greed, got the best of us to have fire manipulation. As Zuko gets up, as he turns to her and says, I accept your apology. As Uzumi was basically says, oh yay, my big brother is a giant kaiju. So some of you are probably in that are watchers, the viewers. We know what the Zuko is gonna do. But Zuko knows what he's gonna do, as he was. Inko remembers that how much a jerk he was to try to find the proto thing. So he decides, okay, how or Inko says, I know where his factory or his lab thing is. As Zuko, as that's the one that you desire, right? As Inko says, or Zuko says yes. As they walked. Oh crap, sorry. So they walked. And Zero saw Zumi, and or actually they saw was that big creature. As yeah, Zuko was as he is this the place? Yes, Zuko. Go ahead. As he released a super mega powerball. Oh, that destroyed the entire factory, or like the lab, or lab thing, as it destroyed the entire thing, as he after he destroyed that, as he saw the old bones of a kaiju with brains thing, or like blood. And as he does not care. Sorry about that. My little nosy nose was running. So so he basically destroyed the entire fossil with one single blast. As as he as the military come in, as he turns around, as Inko says to them that he's just doing something right for me. the one that was the factory thing, or actually, as she says, get away from them, or get away from him. Okay? As Inko explains that, and as he showed them when the when he was hiding from arrest of in that factory, as she says, okay, as they went down, as they see a skeleton remains of a kaiju, and yeah. So Zuko was basically, or Inko tells her that I know it looks disgusting because the as some of her men even threw up because how disgusting it was, as she knew who, as A says, or she says this, okay, Zuko, or that monster's corpses will be transferred into a military base to see what his plans were. That boss that you worked with. Yeah, I kind of knew what all of his plans were, so his plan was to copy this, kaiju's DNA and apply it to, to make the monster soldiers to basically take over the world. Sounds like a bad guy to me. Yes, Inko. Okay, so, and how did you know that it was him as a bad guy? Because as they accessed the main computer thing, as she had every file that was supposed to be deleted, but she saved them on the hard drive as one of the files of him when he was just a crime lord. As she gives it to her, at the same time, Zuko was still dizzy, so he was as he tells them to move, as they move him, as he collapsed, and as he's sleeping, as they weren't attacking him, or they weren't attacking at the soldiers or the pro heroes. As he, as some of them moved their hand back, like as his children says, get back, or get out of the way, before, as they point to, as he collapsed, he fell asleep. As All Might knows, as Zumi walks up, or as he was sleeping, as his body transformed back into a human. Yeah, that's what his human form looked like. As he was sleeping. Without a shirt on. As they came out, as they asked, where's that big monster looking thing? Or that kaiju? As everyone points to a sleeping kid on the floor. Or a big buff guy on the floor. As Inko says, he as one of these students tells them that he's sleeping, as they could hear him snoring, as so the government didn't want him to live, so I'm just kidding. So they had to deal with the big threat thing. As Zuko was in the bed, in his own bed, as he was sleeping, and plus Nezu, where is that? Good. Or so Nezu says, how about roll him into UA? We were just talking about Zuko, as he came out of the bedroom. What's going on? We were just talking about you. How do you feel about joining UA Class 1A? Okay. As Nezu is like, huh. And don't worry about your kids, by the way. They'll join in a special class thing. So, So, Inko was... So, Zumi is happy that Zuko is joining her in Class 1A. They spend quality time together. So, As so he did like catch up. It was just two things that he missed: ball throw and the heroes versus villains. But that's okay. Or just a ball throw. So the Zuko was basically snoozing, and yeah, sorry. As the one new transfer student, as as him saying, "Is it a girl or is it a boy?" Well, I hope it's not that same kaiju again. Man, that creature was so weird. As yeah, but then as they all agree, I hope it's not that same creature. As a student, Zuko walks in. As he says, "Hey guys, what's up?" Or, "Hello, my name is Zuko Midoriya." The as Zuko as they're like, "Okay, hello Zuko." As some of them introduce themselves, as Zuko was basically he all right, and Zuko, you know, sometimes when he like they did the heroes vs villains and all that stuff, and please wait for part 2.